Back to another episode. You know what I'm saying? We just getting started, man. So, come on, come on. Just, you know what I'm saying? Getting into it. About to grab my laptop and we about to talk and discuss New York Knicks basketball, not only for this past week, but we may go into a little previous situation just to get things shaking. You know how I go. So, you know what I'm saying? Make some noise, man. I sent the link out to the team. See if anybody from the team want to join. So we got the Orlando Magic today, down in Orlando. Knicks we need to recover on the road. That's number one. We definitely need to boast a better record on the road. And what I think it is just teams are giving us their best shot, especially when we go into their gyms and to their buildings. Road wins should never be easy to come by, especially for a team like us. Whereas I believe as a basketball squad, we have a target on our backs. So let me readjust my mic real quick. And so teams are giving us their best shots. But what I like to see is that we don't quit. We continue to play well, late game situations. I believe that the win in Dallas was an anomaly as far as the free throw shooting went. But we've been able to play very well in late game situations. So what I do like is the fact that the team appears to be a full out, well balanced unit. The attack is on a well balanced front. And so, what I like to see us continue to do again is get to it versus the good teams. Let me get a second. And so, once we're able to manufacture that unity and that closeness versus teams like Orlando, it's over. Get a little stove to warm up the chat, warm up the channel. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Skills, rest in peace. My man Skills, BMX King. Still smelling like a brick right now. Still smelling like a brick right now. How we built this shit from the ground to the top floor, to the clouds, to the penthouse. Still smelling like a brick right now. Still smelling like a brick right now. You been screaming off the project steps. Mama know I'm home, but told the feds that I just left. This for the real ones that don't hate. Yeah. So now, let's see. I had to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? I had to get the autograph. Knicks Fan TV family. Why me? One of one trucker hat. I had to go get my light uniform. You know what I'm saying? So at this point right now, what we're looking to do versus Orlando is just pretty much we got to play some defense. You got some shooters on the other end. Jalen Suggs, he's there to agitate Jalen Brunson. He's there to give Jalen Brunson a hard time tonight. Anthony Black is playing very well. He's playing above the rim. And I believe that Paolo is going to be active tonight too. So no OG. That's a big deal. No OG in a game like this, especially as well as OG has been playing. Not having OG tonight, that's going to be tough. But I think Jalen is always up to the task when it comes to the Orlando Magic. He's always ready. He's always ready for y'all. So I don't really care about what y'all think y'all going to do. But according to ESPN stats, the Orlando Magic are the favorite to win tonight. Jalen Brunson is coming in averaging 28 points, and Franz, no Mo, is coming in averaging 22.6. But let's see, on the injury report, Jalen is a game time decision. OG is, of course, out. No Kevin McCullough. Paolo was out tonight. And Mo, Colin Castleton,
It's also a game time decision. I'm not sure of his statistics, but no Paolo tonight. So again, we're gonna get this team's best effort. They're down a star player, just like the Dallas Mavericks was. And so we're gonna get this team's best effort once again. So the New York Knicks, you know what we got to do. We got to come out. We got to play hard. We got to play physical, and just continue to run the pace of the game. Now, what y'all forgetting about is the accurate 3-point shooting of players like KCP, Desmond Bain, Jalen Suggs can get high. Anthony Black, has an accurate 3-point shot, and so does Franz. He gets right to it. So Towns must stay out of foul trouble. The competitive edge for Karl Anthony Towns has to be under control. He gets his particular set of calls. He gets his particular style of calls and calls that only are suitable for Towns. Me and my man Chuck like to call them cat calls, but those are the calls that Karl Anthony Towns suffers from. Those are the decisions that he makes on the court that kind of affects the flow of the game, not only on offense but also on defense. So Towns, we need you to play smart tonight. Not really get into it with Franz unless we got the game in the bag. Now we're 1-4 on the road, 9-5 overall. But if we win 2 more games on the road like we probably should have, the record is looking nice. We be top in the league, and then we got this NBA Cup situation to deal with. I believe we're 1-1 in the Cup play. So in our last 5 games, a win against Dallas, a loss against Miami, and a win against Miami, a loss against Orlando, and a win against Memphis. So our last game, we lost to the Orlando Magic. You can call it what you want, but they stomped us, and we had a full roster. And so you could call it what you want. Paolo actually went out that game, and they still smoked us. So what I'm thinking is, we just need to definitely. I think Mitchell Robinson needs to be inserted in the game a little bit early to get control of the possessions, get control of the tempo, pull down some rebounds early, and we need to establish. We need to establish our dominance playing basketball in that fashion, especially with Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is the key factor in this. You know what I'm saying? You see my blanket in the back, right? It's just thrown up there. You know what I'm saying? So Mitchell Robinson is the key factor in this. You know what I'm saying? And Mitchell Robinson is going to be, I think, the deciding factor in whether or not we victorious tonight. Free throws is another situation. Listen, Mitch, I can't do nothing about the free throws, bro. Only you can. Only you can, Mitch. Only you can affect, your game on the offensive end, like by shooting great free throws. So, if you see this later, if everybody understands, we love Mitchell Robinson. That makes some noise. He's my favorite player. Josh Hart, of course, the captain, the dog, Mikal Bridges, playing lights out this season. I love his intensity. I love the way that he's not backing down. He's taking the shots that has to be taken, and he's making a majority of those shots that has to be taken, especially from the corner. He's playing defense. He's getting what they call now pick 6 steals. So he's getting full court steals, blowing up the play, blowing up the extra pass, going the length of the court, and getting dunks on the other team. So shout out to Mikal Bridges for holding down the wing stop operation while the dog is out. Josh, you gotta step up. Josh, with the full complete wing stop, Josh is the French fries. And Jordan Clarkson is the sauce, is the buffalo sauce on the side or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? But when the dog comes back, we'll be back to full strength. Now, the team overall, from a rebounding perspective, with Paolo being out, we do have Towns as a leading man no matter what in rebounding. So what I would like for Towns to do is, again, establish himself on the boards. Mitchell Robinson can grab Mitchell rebounds. That's his name. Mitchell rebounds. Mitchell Robinson can grab 10 rebounds in 14 minutes. So, like, although he's not showing up here as the leader, but like by minutes, he's the leader. He's the leader. And so 14 rebounds, 9 offensive, 10 offensive, 8 offensive, like anything more than like 5 offensive rebounds, beast. Beast. So shout out to Mitch, never a snitch, always playing like he's rich. So at the end of the day, let's see what we got. It's a 55-44 win percentage for the Orlando Magic. So they're favored to win by about 11%. The over the under is 229, and the spread is 1.5 points. So we're projected to lose by at least 1.5. So let's see. We could blow this up, bro. Games at 5 tonight. Games at 5 tonight. Games at 5 tonight. Eastern Standard Time, of course. The Orlando Magic 9-7, 6-3 at home. The Knicks are 9-5, 1-4 away. Jalen Brunson is coming in again, averaging 28, averaging 6.5 assists, 6.5 dimes. Jay, need like 9 dimes to get you right, bro. 9 dimes to get you right, and those two maybe the Towns for a couple good threes. Landry Shamet is playing very well, so he's a player that I also would like to highlight. Landry Shamet, the last man signed on the Knicks roster. So let's give it up for Landry Shamet because, he's come alive ever since that game versus Miami where he had 36 points off the bench. Landry Shamet has been a reliable all-around shooter and defender, two-way player for the New York Knicks this season. He's been able to, assume his role, fit into his role, provide the intensity, draw defensive fouls, create offensive fouls for the other team in late game situations that help us, secure the game. So Landry Shamet is definitely a player who I'm enjoying watching play this season. Jordan Clarkson is also a player who kind of got that bench mob a little bit kickstarted while Josh Hart was kind of getting through the early season injuries. And Landry Shamet is basically picking up from where he left off. And so with that, Clarkson off the bench, Shamet off the bench. Yabusele is still getting minutes, but his shot is very much so broke. He needs to get back into the lab. He needs to get more confidence. His jump shot is very flat. It really looks like a brick every time he shoots it, and it's not a confident shot either. He's almost like this ain't going in. So Yabusele, he needs to get himself together. But at the end of the day, Deuce, we ain't been talking about Deuce, but Deuce McBride, Deuce is cooking off the bench. He's driving. He's getting to the basket. He's dunking. The game against Miami, I thought that he could have got a better shot. It's not even a hesitation about it. He should have got a better shot. He could have pulled up. He could have stopped and popped. He could have drove hard, shifted a little bit, got a jump shot off as opposed to like a runner in the lane. But, he was making a lot of stuff and he was hot. And so I'm sure that if he knew that he could have took a better shot, or I'm sure that if, whatever, the mechanisms was all for Deuce. And, there was a bad shot versus Miami. Towns got a second look at it, but, we could have definitely took that game into overtime, quite possibly won that game with a little bit of better execution toward the end of the game. It didn't show up like that in Dallas, but the way that it showed up in Dallas was that we missed a lot of free throws. So the late game execution versus Miami, maybe like the last 7 to 8 minutes, it kind of started when Towns took that 3 in transition. And then like our momentum and cohesiveness started unraveling a little bit, and Miami made a run. Norman Powell got hot. Davion Mitchell started to get hot. And I forgot the shooter they got with the Italian name, the Soto or something. Whatever he's he got a gun. That kid on Miami, I forgot his name, but he got a gun. We got to watch out for him. But anyway, play Miami a couple more times this season. We get to that. We got Orlando tonight. No Paolo. So Franz is going to come through. Desmond Bain is going to come through. These players are veteran players. They're looking to take our heads off. And I think the New York Knicks, I think in the back of our minds, they really think people respect us. No, teams are trying to dog us. Teams are trying to dog us. Like when we play against Eastern Conference opponents, especially Giannis, they all trying to make a statement. They all trying to make a statement. You know, Paolo would play tonight if he could, but they're all these cats. They're all trying to make a statement versus the Knicks, and so that's what we need to understand. We have a target on our back every time we play. They all trying to make a statement. We got to contain Wendell Carter Jr. We got to contain these tall 6'10" 3-point shooters that we don't have an abundance of. A lot of these teams are training their power forwards and their marginal wing players, like how the Chicago Bulls does, like did with like Patrick Williams, and how Orlando is doing with Wendell Carter, and how Indiana has Smith. You know, these big googly eyed dudes, bro. They just out there to shoot threes, but they 6'10". Miles Turner, you know what I'm saying? They just shooting threes, but they just mad tall. So it's like they got, in a sense, like 4 Karl Anthony Towns, and we really only have 1. You know, our big men are traditional, be like Mitchell Robinson. Let him shoot threes. They letting Khalil Ware shoot threes. Why Mitchell Robinson can't shoot threes? Every center in Walker Kessler, Markkanen, Clint Capella, and probably Mitchell Robinson are the only 2 big men who don't shoot the ball. Every other big man in the NBA shoots the ball. So I don't understand. Even DeAndre Jordan be getting the jump shot too. What? Let him shoot. Who cares? I don't. It's either gonna go in or it's not. Anyway, for the amount of offensive rebounds that Mitchell Robinson get, there should be able to be some type of set play where this man could work on his jump shot and the flow of the game, work on his mid range, work on a wing 3 or a top of the key 3 in the flow of the game. There should be an opportunity for that. That's all I'm saying. But you know, hey, it ain't my call, but there should be an opportunity for that, and that's all I'm saying. So, you know, roster wise, we dealing with Desmond Bane. You know what I'm saying? Desmond Bane is coming in and he's averaging, I think, maybe like 14 to 16. You know what I'm saying? They got KCP, Anthony Black. So, you know, these are a lot of mixy players, you know what I'm saying, that want to get to it. You know, out of the 16 games right now, Desmond Bane, he's averaging 16.8. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, these are the mixy players that really want to get to it. These are the players that, you know, they are looking to get a little bit over their average now that their main players out. So, listen, man, we're gonna come back a little bit later. Your man Wild Me is about to hit the gym. I might do a little content over there. You know what I'm saying? Might do a little content at the gym while I'm on the treadmill hitting the bag. This is Nick Some Noise. This is the morning edition. You know what I'm saying? We just reviewing the game tonight versus the Orlando Magic in Orlando. My man CP, shout out to CP. Knicks Fan TV is going to be out there. He's doing a huge event. I think he said on his channel he had like 300 people RSVPing. So shout out to CP. My man CP right there. I got the CP signature. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to CP, Knicks Fan TV, man. Most consistent, you know what I'm saying, #1 show for all of the Knicks fans. I'm just a man, you know what I'm saying, on an occasional Saturday or two, I throw my opinion up here on the channel. And my boys ain't hit me up, so I don't know. They probably sleeping and doing stuff with their kids. But like I said, I'm about to hit the gym. It's 10 o'clock. I'm about to see what it do. I'm about to hit the bag. I'm about to hit the treadmill, throwing a little podcast, get myself together, man. Knicks versus the Orlando Magic tonight, bro. Let's get it. New York in the building. Nick Some Noise. It's your man, Why Me? We out.